making that record label money before they knew us. And we were blowing your budget in the club to the booth up. If your dog fall in your ball hog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, I'm with right now. I got you. Nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now. Need crew up right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now,
It's Gurley power. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting San Francisco 49ers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. A few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley tried to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Rams team as they enter play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come in at 15-0, 1 win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Pushes him over. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
All right, here we go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. 20. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Niners have taken the early lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
He was good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
I'm going to give him another shot.
All right. I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try and eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
On first down, it's gone. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field, and when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And spinning now. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. 25 yards. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. Oh, this is blocked. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A look now at the starters on this 49er defense. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen.
And the Niners get there and bring him down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Taken from just outside the 30. And bulldozing his way through. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The starting 11 now for Los Angeles on the defensive side of the ball. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the #1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw, trying to lay one up deep. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. Now, bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Back to throw, Goff. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off near the 29. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Now, remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
And, oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Looking a little bit like a continuation of last week. He had 3 tackles for a loss, and now 1 more here in the first quarter of this game.
And there's been no lack of force by him, taking on the offensive linemen, playing them, but also there's a suddenness to his game. They have that initial contact, and then he's gone, moving upfield and making those plays in the backfield.
It's a big body moving upfield, too. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Goff flips it off to Gurley. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the 2nd level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. And they'll run it here. And now running right through it. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, 49ers. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1, we want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable that they even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit there and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First catch of the game for Cooks. It'll be a first down. Now Goff on first down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position. Because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh? But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard gain.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 40, past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the 49ers continue to roll. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Now the 49ers electing to leave the offense out there and go for 2.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Rams on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Goff. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Well, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning in.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
No problem there on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. On second down, here's Goff. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I think it's safe to say we know who the game ball is probably going to after this one.
Without a doubt, they're going to stand up in the middle of the locker room after the game, and the head coach is going to say, great performance, terrific, game ball. Right here, got presented to him. And if he's...
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The big fella. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
An unsuccessful attempt at the 2-point conversion. And it was a triple option play. And they chose option 1, handing it to the fullback. And that's not normal.
And sometimes you just miss your read key, right?
Yeah, I think so. And sometimes they actually call that thinking that maybe everyone will bypass the fullback going out to the tailback or the quarterback. But in this case, they overwhelmed them and stopped him.
Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
2nd and 10. Goff again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. Well, now.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the 49ers continue to roll. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
180.
Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Here's Johnny Hekker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's been in a pretty good groove. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really helps your play calling, because now you're in a position where you're confident in either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. And the lead here in the second quarter. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So we have come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports Halftime Report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll begin in the NFC West. Arizona heading up north to take on Seattle. And that game tied at 7 in the second quarter. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. 21-9, your final. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. Phillip Rivers has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3 and 4 or 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
Now a play fake here on first down. His throw incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And that'll bring up second down.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Goff. And the pressure gets to him again.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. And it's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Nearly a huge return. It is still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are. And I know.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. In for the score. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2. They're going to try and run. And they're just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He may need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Goff now looking to throw. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it.
And the Niners get there and bring him down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Here's Johnny Hekker now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
All right, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A big play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the 49ers continue to roll. Now the 49ers electing to leave the offense out there and go for two. They'll try and run it here. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for two in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go on the ground. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. They juked him, and he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. Back now in Los Angeles. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And you can see they're in second place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. They have the best record among the wild card contenders, but you never really feel comfortable when you're down around that 5 or 6 slot, do you?
No, you don't. You figure.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
We've been around this. Many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
20.
To throw on second down is gone. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Johnny Hekker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And San Francisco gets set to go here. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food, because that is something that you and I we enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Niners on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
There he goes, left side. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the 49ers continue to roll.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? No, I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
And this is incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To throw is gone. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means after
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Going down the middle, and it's complete. The 40, the 30, 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we got no shot to beat this team.
And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Up big, and they go for 2, and they get it.
I remember being in high school and seeing an article in the paper where a local columnist had said, why are we fighting over sportsmanship and running up the score? Just run it up on everybody and deal with it. Some people just don't care that way, and obviously this coach feels the exact same way.
So that article is saying the defense should be able to stop them.
That's what they're trying to say. Hey, if you don't want it to happen, stop them. Otherwise, quit whining about it.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
forward.
Exactly.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Out of the gun, Goff. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, That just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught at the 25. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. Again, he'll drop to throw, and that's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Goff now to throw. And he coughs up the football. And it's a safety. Goff got buried in the end zone. He couldn't get rid of it. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here. And that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
He'll look to throw. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. Now, remember, they had 2 last week in the win. Obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you...
He's got daylight. The 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here we go. 180.
On first down, gone. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively.
180.
Back to the air. Goff on second down. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Cooper Kupp was his intended target. And it's third down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Here's Goff. Now a desperation. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 49. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Niners, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 16-0, joining the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to ever do so. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, despite the loss here, they're going to wind up with a very good 11-5 overall mark. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.